Hola, Charlene T. Easter here. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you have been here before. I feel like I should say Happy New Year. I know it's been a half a second since I have posted a video or been live. And the last time you saw me, if you were here, you participated in our virtual vision board party with Marquila Gailey, which was really, really nice. And I shared some photos of the vision board that I actually created. I think I shared some on LinkedIn and I shared some on Instagram in my stories. But again, welcome back. This is a space for Black and Brown women who are prioritizing their health and their happiness. And I think we can do that by ensuring that we maintain our melanin as well as a positive mindset so that we can continue to create magic in our everyday lives, whatever magic is for you. And tonight, I'm excited to have a very special guest because listen, now, they say, some people have a problem with aging, and I personally don't. I really feel very, very good. Now, I can feel better because there are some things that I need to do, but I feel good. Um, and I am grateful to be here because the alternative to aging is what? Right. So while I will take a few fine lines and wrinkles here, there, or whatever, I still want to age gracefully. And if there are things that I can do to make me feel more confident about my appearance and how I feel about myself, I'm all for it. A sister might even add some money to the budget. You understand what I'm saying? So I discovered the guest that we have tonight on Instagram, and I am affiliated with Leading Ladies RVA, which is something that is located in Richmond, Virginia, a fantabulous group that I'm going to say is spearheaded by a fantastically positive and encouraging woman named Tracy. And I saw her profile on Tracy's page and was like, oh, what is this about? And I just went all through her Instagram page and then I went through her website and I'm like, your girl got questions because if she could do something about this cracking up and around here, like Shanae and them has said, I'm interested. I need to get some answers. So her name is Michele Evans Reavis, and I have to make sure I say it right because I told her I have a cousin who spells it the same way but says Reavis. So it's Reavis. And the name of her business is CKE Rejuvenation. And she is a registered nurse and she's here to answer some questions about, let's call them, beauty services. I will let her better define it, that she offers, and wellness services. And I have questions about several. And I figured that sometimes as Black and brown women, we may not be as familiar. I know I'm really not. I've heard of Botox. I kind of know what it is. I've done like a very little bit one time, but I didn't go back. But so many services are available that are not terribly invasive, not terribly expensive, that can be beneficial to, again, boosting our confidence in our appearance and our overall wellness. So, Michele is here to share some information, answer a few questions that I may have. We encourage you to ask any questions that you may have. And if we get an opportunity, hey, Shayla, if we get an opportunity to address your question tonight, we absolutely will if we can. And if not, then we may be encouraged to come back and bring Michele back to get more answers to the questions. So I'm going to bring Michele to the stage and let her introduce herself, her business, and the services that she offers as she tries to help us learn about all the things that she does and how we can we can age gracefully. And for those who are not over 50, like myself, how you can kind of maintain, you know what I'm saying? That melanin magic. So hold tight. Let's bring Michele on.
We're talking about age. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Michele, how are you?
I am awesome. I am awesome. Happy Wednesday. I know Charlene calls it Wellness Wednesday, but if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm all about water. Water, water, water. It is Water Wednesday.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
But thank you so much for that introduction. I am Michele Evans Reavis. I am a board certified licensed nurse practitioner who is specializing in aesthetics medicine. Yes, it is medicine and it is aesthetics. Yes, all of the things to help us to look our best inside out. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
what I'm it is really, really a special place for me. I enjoy helping folks. And what I learn, I share with others. And that way they can make informed decisions about or informed choices about what they may or may not, want to do for
Mhm.
themselves.
Yes, yes. So when we talk about making informed choices, I have
Mhm.
a few standard questions, but I really do want to start with you.
Okay.
You and I have had, of course, a conversation offline,
Yeah.
but the people who are watching and will watch this video may
Mhm.
not be as familiar. So I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about yourself, how you found your way into this field,
Okay.
and just a real quick overview of the various services that you currently offer.
Okay. So, I initially started out doing IV hydration mobile, offering
Mhm,
mobile services doing IV hydration. Why
mhm,
IV hydration? Because I was kind of like thrown off about it a little bit. I was very curious because I did see some folks on social media. Actually, they were stars, entertainers, who were in places having an IV done. And I said, oh, I've never seen that before. That's not the hospital. They're not sick. They're like, I don't know, they're getting like a banana bag. We call it a banana bag in the hospital. It has lots of vitamins and minerals and so forth in it. So I was kind of like, oh, this is interesting. And then as I delved a little bit more into it and I researched a little bit more, I said, you know what, Michele, you can do that.
mhm,
My background in nursing is critical care. So when I
mm,
did work in the hospital and I did work at the bedside, I did critical care nursing. Um, and then after I did critical care, I went into academia. I was teaching.
mm,
And so I was like, huh, Michele, this is like, you could do this. And so COVID happened and it kind of put a monkey
mm,
wrench in it, but I was able to still move forward at the end of 2020. I went down to Atlanta and I took a class actually with a nurse practitioner who had two daughters who were doing IV hydration.
yeah,
Um, and so I started the business doing IV hydration and I was doing mobile. And during COVID, everybody was grasping for straws about how to protect themselves and
mhm,
what they could do. And so hydration and vitamin C, mega
mm,
doses and everything to improve your immune system were really high on the list. So I started doing that. And then I decided that I needed to add services on, and somehow I landed in the land of aesthetics. I just landed there.
mhm,
And it was a good place to land because truthfully, I'm into skincare. I do
mhm,
believe in facials. I believe in lotions and potions and all of the things to be able to take care of your skin. Um, and so it wasn't a difficult for me
mhm,
because it's something that I enjoy doing anyway for myself.
mhm,
So fast forward, I noticed that there were not a lot of people who look like me for all intents and purposes.
mhm.
And I was like, but wait a minute, like we like beauty. Like we
Yes,
get our hair done, get lashes,
yes. We
nails.
spend most of the money, don't we? Mhm,
So any case, I just went on and delved a little bit more and realized that Black and brown women have a tendency to dislike something that they really don't know a whole lot about. And
mm,
it's unfortunate that those choices or those decisions are made based upon what they see on TV.
Mm, mhm,
And what you see on TV is a whole lot of work.
mhm,
Whole lot of
mhm,
work. When I
mm,
say work, I mean some of them have done surgery, surgical intervention, and it doesn't have to be that way. There are quite a few non-surgical treatments that can help you to look your best. Some of what I offer, like Botox and filler, PRP, those are all non-surgical interventions to be able to help you to glow and look your best without actually having to go underneath the knife.
mhm, mhm,
Um, and and again, I share on my Instagram about, you know, Botox. You don't have to look fake. You can look
mhm,
natural. You can even, have filler in your lips. And
mm,
it doesn't have to be that you have soup coolers for all intents and purposes. Um,
mhm,
because filler is not just to make your lips big or provoke volume for all intents and purposes, but you can put a little contour in it. You can hydrate. There's hyaluronic acid filler that's used. So it's different. It's different treatments, different options. So it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. It's a very interesting place.
mhm.
Um, and oftentimes the black and brown folks that find me, they get very excited because I look like they look.
Yes, yes, that's one thing that excited me. I
Yeah.
always like to see, um,
Hmm.
someone who looks like me,
Hmm.
who because you're going to feel as if there is a better understanding
Standing. Hmm.
of what you need and what you want, in
Hmm.
our skin. Because while
Hmm.
skin is skin, there are still major differences. Some
Hmm.
with certain things when it comes to melanated skin and the
Right.
various treatments and things
Right.
that you may want to get.
Right.
Um, Very much like you, I believe in facials and I believe
Hmm.
in peels, and I have seen major success
Hmm.
over the past 2 years. I'm having a mini setback. Um, with the esthetician I work with, who actually happens to not be black. But when I tell you she's a master esthetician, she has
Hmm.
worked wonders with my skin. I love
Hmm.
her. She is one of my beauty boos,
Did you
but
just say love her? Did you just
I
say
love
love
her.
her?
I love her. Because I have suffered with, I've mentioned on the channel, I have PCOS, in
Mhm.
over years. You're a medical person. But for
Mhm.
those who may not know, some
Mhm.
of the different side effects can include excessive facial hair and body
Yes.
hair for women,
Yes. Yes.
acne, and
Yes.
I've experienced all those things. And
Mhm.
so as a result, I've had a lot of hyperpigmentation on my face, and
Mhm.
peels have always done wonders, but something about her knowledge base and how she mixes and matches different, it's
The
fantastic.
products. The products.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, the product. So,
Mhm.
I'm always going to recommend you find a licensed,
Mhm.
knowledgeable person.
Yes.
You get referrals
Yes.
because everyone, it's very important to know that everyone who may be licensed
Mhm.
isn't knowledgeable about our skin.
Skin. Yes. I
You
agree.
know? So,
I agree. I agree. I agree. When I relocated here, that was what was very important to me was to
mm,
find a black or brown esthetician
mhm,
for my skin. And I found one, and I again I talk about her on my IG,
mhm.
Adia of Luminous Skincare and Wellness.
Okay.
I go to her. She has been taking care of my face since I've been here 7 or 8 years. Um, and that's just something that I get a facial every 3 months.
Mhm,
It's a different facial. It's generally not always the same one. I
mhm,
believe in changing up your products, your facial products, skincare products for the different seasons. You don't use
mhm,
the same thing that you use in the winter, in the summer. So, I'm a big believer in facials, again, skincare, lotions and potions, and hydration.
Yes.
Because too, your diet,
Mm.
what you eat, plays a role in your skin.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, skin is your largest organ.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, and you gotta, you gotta really, it's funny. I don't on a regular drink soda. That's just not my thing. I
Mm.
just, and it stems from when I was a teenager, I had acne. And on my forehead, I had, oh my God, like it was just like,
Mm.
acne. And my mom took me to a dermatologist
Mm.
who gave me medication to dry it up, and it was a hot mess, full express.
Okay.
And
Was it
so for
Accutane?
me,
If you don't mind me asking,
go
was
ahead.
it Accutane or something like a more topical?
It
Because
was
I
more,
use
no,
Accutane.
it was topical. I don't recall what it
Okay.
was, but
Okay.
it was topical, and yeah. So I didn't know if it was my hair, if it was the
Mm.
soda. So I was just doing all of the things. So
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing that, based on what you just said, made me think about is I am not saying what I'm about to say is not to knock or sound as if dermatologists aren't important, because they are important. They're
yes, they
doctors,
were
right?
correct.
But what I found, and I remember someone saying this to me, and when, I felt like, well, I can't afford that. Let me start by saying, and then we're going to really get into some of the specific questions about the services you offer and the various treatments.
Sure.
So many things for me as someone who has grown up, like, you don't want to say poor, but
Mm-hmm.
poor,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, you
Mm-hmm.
think of certain things, I think of
Mm-hmm.
certain things as being for rich people. And,
Correct.
for much of your life, for much of my life, let me
Mm-hmm.
for you,
Mm-hmm.
typically rich people were white, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
things that you see people getting that seem extra, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's so interesting to me that many of these things are a normal part of my life. God is
Yes.
good, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
facials, the chemical peels,
Mm-hmm.
massages,
Mm-hmm.
floating, like, even if you're able to afford house cleaning services, like,
Mm-hmm.
all of these things, like, and this is why mindset work is so important, and also being exposed to different
Mm-hmm.
things and different people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but dermatologists are very important, but I really have come to believe they are important for certain issues and challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is more important to
Mm-hmm.
find a licensed, knowledgeable esthetician who
Mm-hmm.
you work with regularly
Mm-hmm.
that can help you with maintaining the health of your skin.
Skin. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's made a
Mm-hmm.
big difference for me.
Mm-hmm. Correct. I agree. Yeah, my esthetician is the bomb. Like
Yeah.
and I think that everyone should find someone who they develop a relationship with, who's licensed,
Yes.
um, who knows about the products, what products work for you, what products don't work for you, what treatments work for you, what
Yeah.
treatments don't work for you.
Yes.
Um, that's really, really important, you know.
Hmm.
And it's not to say that you need to have a facial every month. I wouldn't
Correct.
I wouldn't say that. That it's
Yeah.
all dependent on what your skincare needs are.
Yeah. Your skin is beautiful, as is
Thank
your
you.
hair, as is
Thank
your
you.
hair.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. You're
Um,
embracing all of this
so
right here.
it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. So I want to go to Botox and fillers and the PRP, but before that, because you've already mentioned the IV hydration,
Hmm.
I know that was one of the things we talked about, and it's so very interesting to me because I was talking to a few of my friends probably last year because I'm like, I'm not drinking water like I should. I feel like I'm
Hmm.
dehydrated, like not enough
Hmm.
to go to the hospital or anything, but I feel like I don't
Hmm.
have enough water in my system. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, and I saw many of those clinics, and I'm like, girl, I don't know what's in that little bag. I don't know if you. She's not sticking a needle in me. Not like.
Gosh, that's funny.
So when I saw you offered it, and then when we talked, and you were like, "Oh, there are minerals that can go in." When you mentioned magnesium, I'm like, "Really?" Because I know that helps. With like cramps in your legs, like if you're working
Hmm.
out, with your
Hmm.
and rest. Like it impacts so many things. And I'm
Yes.
like, maybe that's something, that could be beneficial to me, even if
Right.
it's something I do every so often.
Right.
Um, so
Right.
I'm curious to know, um, one, how often do people typically get the IV hydration?
Hmm.
And what is your number one or top two, best sort of like formulations or
Hmm.
vitamins or minerals that people
Hmm.
typically ask for that are the most beneficial in
Hmm.
general?
Well, when you say beneficial, I would
Mhm.
have to say they're all beneficial. The top tier is Myers cocktail because it has all of the vitamins, all of the B vitamins. It also, has glutathione in it, which is a antioxidant. It has the magnesium. It has all of, and Dr. Myers was the one that was behind the guru that was behind IV hydration.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
how often people get it is very much so based upon their circumstance.
Okay.
Circumstance meaning, there are people who want to drip once a week.
Okay.
There are some who say, you know what, every 2 weeks. There are some who will say once a month,
Okay.
depending on what your lifestyle is. If you're someone who travels often, travel may mean flying by train, all of the things. You may want to do it every 2 weeks, maybe even once a week, depending. Because oftentimes, people say, well, you can just drink the water that you need. That's not true. Because
Mhm.
not everybody drinks water like they should. And
Right.
it's not just water, but it's the electrolytes
Mm.
that is a part of the water.
Okay.
And so, you have to be mindful of the electrolytes, you
Mhm.
know, um, vitamins
Mhm.
and mineral, like all of the things. So it's very dependent upon the situation. I have one young lady who is coming every 2 weeks. She's a truck driver. She says, listen, Michele, I'm not stopping because she's a female and she doesn't feel
Oh.
safe
Great. Yeah.
stopping at the truck driver
Yep.
stations or what have you. So she
Mhm.
won't drink. She drinks very little, and
Mhm.
so she come to me like, listen, I need it. I need it. I feel
Mhm.
so much better, once I get it. So, it's very individual.
Okay.
It is very beneficial. And keep in mind what your body doesn't use, it excretes.
Okay. Okay. And is it so clearly, you have some sort of intake process or
Mhm.
consultation so that you can
Yes,
help people determine what might be the most beneficial cocktail for them
for
based
them.
on what's going on in their life. Okay.
Sure. Yes. Yes. So, you have to do an intake form. You have to sign consents. You have to state, your medical history. Not everyone is a candidate for IV hydration. So if you have a history of heart failure or some heart issues, maybe even some kidney issues, you very
Mm,
well may not be a candidate for IV hydration.
okay.
Everything isn't for everybody.
Right.
Some folks will say, oh, I didn't feel anything. Well, okay, you didn't feel anything. Not everybody feels, oh,
Right.
but
But it
not
doesn't
not
mean it
everyone
wasn't
feels
beneficial
that.
to you.
Say that again.
I said, but it doesn't mean it wasn't beneficial to you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. It does
Mhm.
not mean that it was not beneficial.
Mhm. So I'm
Yeah.
curious to know, and then I'll move on to the Botox and fillers. And we do have one question. Um, how long is it when you come for like the IV hydration? Typically, how long is that like appointment?
It's about 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
about 30 to 45 minutes. There's a 500 ml bag and then there's a 1 liter bag.
Mm.
Generally speaking, everyone gets the 500 ml bag, and that's a half a liter.
Mhm.
Um, and that's the general dose for all intents purposes. Unless you get 1 liter if you want to rehydrate and you're
Mhm.
like, yes, I need all of the fluids. That may take an hour and 15 minutes, depending. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you have to sign the consent.
Mhm.
We talk a little bit about your medical history.
Mm-hmm.
I would do your vital signs, start the IV, and then start the drip.
Okay. And what would be a price range for those services?
Anywhere from 149 to like 199.
Okay.
149 to 199.
Okay, per session.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Duly noted. And magnesium and a little vitamin B is in my mind, just so you know. Um,
Okay.
so we do have one question,
Okay.
and I I gave it a stab, but the question is from Sindra, and she is asking, what is the difference between a dermatologist and an esthetician?
Oh, a dermatologist is a doctor.
Okay, I
Yeah,
put that in the comments.
the dermatologist is a doctor. They are a board certified doctor. The esthetician is licensed, and
Mhm.
I'm sure that they have certification where they have to go to school. So
Yep.
yeah, that's the difference between the two.
Okay. I think I answered it. I said that one is a licensed doctor, but we'll let Michelle answer. I didn't know if it was something
Yeah,
specific
yeah.
technical.
The
So,
the dermatologist is a medical doctor.
yep. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, and then let's talk a little bit about
Botox.
Botox, what it is, um, how and when it's, I don't want to say best, but how and when it's
Mhm,
typically used,
mhm,
um,
mhm.
and who might be a good candidate for it. Like, what kind of things do we have going on? So, let me just throw this on out here for myself. Okay.
Go ahead.
So, one of the things that uh, all my life, and I should have uploaded like my baby picture.
Uh-huh.
I have always had like hollows here.
Mhm,
And when I
mhm,
look at my baby picture, I can see them, right? So I'm
mhm.
like, that's just who I am. And then as I've lost weight, because one of the things that you also offer is semaglutide, and I'm assuming it's in the form of Wegovy.
No, it's semaglutide.
Oh, it's just semaglutide.
Yes.
Correct me. All right.
Yes.
So
Because semaglutide is the main ingredient
yes.
in Ozempic, Wegovy, Monjaro,
Hmm.
and I forgot the latest one. There's one more that they just added on, I think. But
Okay.
it is the main ingredient.
Okay. So
Mhm.
I am on Wegovy.
Okay.
And that's something I've talked about, and I have been on it for over 2 years, going on three.
Okay.
Um, again, as mentioned, because I know sometimes people get interesting. I'm gonna say that way.
Okay. Okay.
About the the Ozempic and Wegovy and stuff. I have PCOS. So over the course of my adult life, I have experienced one of the other side effects, which is when things
Mhm.
stress me out, it
Mhm.
exacerbates, and I have become insulin resistant more than twice in my
Okay.
life.
Okay.
So while some people, I've had to take medications that are for diabetics, right,
Mhm.
to help with
Mhm.
that. So
Mhm.
I just want to put that out there so
Okay.
nobody who sees
Disclaimer.
it in the future will feel the need to say anything ugly.
Go
Um,
ahead, girl.
but for me,
Mhm.
I feel youthful. Like, I think sometimes it's your inside. We know we're all aging.
Right.
Look, I started smiling instead of frowning, so I attribute some of the lines around my eyes to that, and I'm
Mhm.
okay with it, right?
Mhm.
But um, if there was something that was non-invasive and not terribly painful,
Uh-huh.
that can help fill in a little bit. And like I told you when we talked, that's not gonna give me bags under my eyes. I'm gonna keep the hollows because I would feel fighting mad. Fighting mad. Like if
You too
I
funny for
lost the
me.
hollows and got bags, because I'm like, that ages, but just something I guess to add a little volume.
Okay.
But I'm afraid of fillers because I'm like, where does it go? What does it do?
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I don't know
Yes.
the difference between
Yes.
Botox
Mm.
versus
Pillow.
fillers. Yeah.
Okay. So
Mhm.
let me help a little bit.
Thank you.
So filler is exactly what you're saying. It's a filler.
Hmm.
Botox is a neurotoxin, and Botox is actually a trade name.
Okay.
So there are a few neurotoxins: Botox, Jeuveau,
Mhm.
Dysport, Zeman, and then there's one more that's available, and it escapes me right this moment.
Okay.
But they're all neurotoxins, and what they do are they paralyze the muscles, and because they paralyze the muscles, there's little movement or no movement, and so the wrinkles in the face are pretty much smoothed out.
Okay.
Um, filler that's not what filler is. Filler is putting volume in into areas where there is a vacancy,
Mhm.
and oftentimes vacancy occurs from genetics,
Mhm.
weight loss,
Mhm.
and aging,
Mhm.
just getting older. So because we have different orifices, holes, and as we get older, they become larger and larger because of bone density and so forth. So those areas create volume loss. And with
Mhm.
filler, you can potentially add volume.
Okay.
It's just that you have to be um, careful and mindful, because one of the things that can happen with filler, and it's not common, but it can happen, is what we call vascular occlusions, VOs, to where you could possibly hit like an artery or something.
Mhm.
Look at your face. Don't do
Okay, I'm
that.
sorry. My HR went out the window and I put my facial expression to say. Mhm.
No, but real talk. That's one of the side effects that most folks get freaked out about when they hear about filler.
Mhm.
Um, with Botox, the most common areas where Botox is used is the forehead, frown lines, crow's feet,
Mhm.
bunny lines,
Okay.
even around the mouth. And oftentimes folks will notice that, like, for instance, their mouth, instead of, it's like an upside down frown. It's like a
Yeah.
frown, almost
Mhm.
like,
Like it starts to
um,
turn down a little bit here.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. And you can use Botox or
Okay.
Tox to be able to help there.
Okay.
The major differences between the Tox are is how long they take to actually start to kick in.
Mhm.
Some take 18 hours, not some, but one of them in particular can take 18 to 36 hours. Others can wait up to 2 weeks before you'll see results.
Mhm.
Results meaning that you'll see the skin become smoother and smoother without having the lines.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and it lasts for about 3 to 4 months on average. It lasts about 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Um, it's not excruciatingly painful.
Okay. That was going to be one of my questions too.
Yeah, but it's not excruciatingly painful, but you can feel it. It's like little bee stings for all
Okay.
intents and purposes. It's
Okay.
like bee stings. Um, and that's really it. It's funny. I've had quite a few newbies
Mhm.
who've done talks, and in 2 weeks you're supposed to follow up, because in 2 weeks you can make a touch up if needs be. Say if there is not smoothness somewhere and you're like, oh, I thought that was going to be smooth, you can add a unit or two.
Okay.
When my newbies come back, excuse me, they're so excited because they're like, oh my God, like, my skin is smooth. um it's for me, I don't necessarily like for folks to be frozen, because I think when you look frozen you look fake. I don't
Hey,
know, for
yes.
me.
Hmm.
But
Yes.
some people are okay with, I mean, they're like, no, they want to be. And I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I'm the right person for you, because it's not about being frozen, because you want to be able to see some expression.
Yes.
Um, but not everybody likes that. And so you always have to take into consideration of that.
Okay.
But they become very happy because it's like you look like you're rested.
Mm.
Some
Hmm.
folks say, you know what, I'm tired of looking tired. I look tired. My face is like drooping.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
oftentimes talks can help, you to look refreshed.
Hmm.
There's that whole saying that black don't crack. And I'm just like, y'all should stop saying that. Black may not crack, but that shit sag. It's saggy. Have it. Especially when you don't take care of it. And you don't take
Right.
care of it. And then you want to get service, and then you want all of the things done.
Yeah.
Everything cannot be done at one time. Aesthetics is like building. You're building and you're entrusting your injector or your aesthetic provider to
Yes.
create a plan for you, because again, it is medicine, and you
Yes.
want to be able to provide a plan that you can go back every 3 to 4 months. You work on this, you work on that, whatever that plan is for you. And on top of that, you don't want, you want to be able to afford what it is that you're getting.
Right. 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 Okay. So is it kind of safe to say that for people who might have more noticeable fine lines or changes drooping in their face, Botox may be the first thing they might want to consider over the fillers. Whereas if someone has lost a bit of volume, so I'm assuming for me, like maybe what I'm talking about underneath here,
Mm-hmm.
where it's sunken and it's always been that way, but it's a little more pronounced because I've
Mm-hmm.
lost 20 additional pounds.
Sure,
Filler
sure,
might
sure.
be something that will help because for me, it's like when you're looking at me now,
Mm-hmm.
you don't really see it's when I smile, and even
Mm-hmm.
more so because I have the glasses that you can see like all these lines here. There's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of droopage here, for my lid, which is becoming a little more recessed. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just around here, like when I smile big.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's like you don't see it. But I know for some people, you just see them, period, right? Whether
Sure.
they're smiling or not.
Sure, sure. Yeah, so you definitely can consider tox. But for hollowness, no. It would have to be filler or PRP. PRP is great. PRP is platelet rich plasma, or
Okay.
PRF, platelet rich fibrogen. It's using your own blood products injected back into your face to be able to build your collagen,
Oh,
firm the skin. It also helps with the fine lines and wrinkles. I mean, because the PRP we can blend with filler, just a little bit of filler. You don't need a whole lot, just a little bit of filler. You need like 3 sessions of it.
okay.
And it's drawing your blood, putting it in a centrifuge, separating it, and using the platelets, or to inject back into your face, into your skin, for it to be able to build the collagen and the firmness and the texture of the skin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mhm. A part of that is hydroneedle. I use the hydroneedle
Hmm.
in my practice, in my
Hmm.
business. I use the hydroneedle with PRP, excuse me, PRF, some serum. We can also use some facial serum that's loaded with vitamin C and glutathione and all of the things for skin to
Hmm.
help to build the collagen of the skin, improve the texture of the skin.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, I had a question, but I might have lost it. So I do have a question about the filler. So clearly
Sure.
that's something that's being injected into your skin.
Sure.
where does it go? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it something that's there and it just fades away? Or, you know what I'm saying? Where
Over
does it go?
time, yeah,
Yeah.
it's reabsorbed into the body.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's there. It's there wherever you get it. Like there's some folks who get it in their cheeks, up
yeah.
here. I mean, because one of the number one concerns are smile lines.
Okay.
This is like the number one concern. They're like,
Okay.
Michelle, what can you do about these? And I'm like, well, first you have to think about why is it like this? Is it weight loss? Like, what is contributing to that? And
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes you can put filler up here
Mm-hmm.
in the
Hmm.
cheeks to lift this up, to
Oh,
bring
okay.
this up, to be able to help with this. But you can also put a little bit of filler here as well.
So
Or
like
you can
fill in
even
the
do,
hole.
or you can even do, again, I'm gonna say PRF.
Mm-hmm.
You can do PRF to be able to help to stimulate the collagen,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, because this right here is the number one smile lines,
Oh wow. Okay.
especially with women who've lost a significant amount of weight,
Mm-hmm.
or just that part of the aging process.
Okay. That's
Hmm.
interesting to know. I guess look, I guess I don't care about that. Look, I care about this.
You care about crow's feet.
So, in terms of the PRF, now that sounds very interesting to me. Like, I like the thought that if something's primarily being injected into my body, it is
It's
from,
yours.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
you said you would need maybe about 3 treatments of that. Is
Yeah,
that something that, how long is a session? Is the first question. And
sure.
then, what would be a price range for something like the PRP or PRF?
So the sessions are about 45 minutes. Could
Hmm.
be about a half hour, 45 minutes. And
Hmm.
the price for each session is either 700 or 750.
Okay, so it's an investment.
Yeah. Listen, your skin is an investment. Like all of it is an investment.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why it's important for you to trust your aesthetic provider, your injector, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
and to build a plan, create a plan of care or a plan for you to be able to achieve your desired results or what your
Yeah.
goal is. It's not going to happen in 2 months.
Mhm.
It could happen. It may take 6 months or even
Mhm.
9 months,
Mhm.
because your skin didn't get to where it is overnight.
Right. Right. Right.
That's being honest. Like,
Yeah.
it's a commitment, it's an investment, and it's you trusting who your aesthetic provider is.
Yeah. And that's important for people to get uh the honesty.
Mhm.
Because sometimes when it comes to, and this is, I'm a makeup artistry is my part-time hustle and has been forever, right? And
Sure.
so while it is different, it is still in the beauty realm. And sometimes we have to help people manage their expectations. Like,
Yes.
based on what you said, I think when we first started, like, you are seeing things on TV that may
Mhm.
not be 100% as people are presenting them. They
Correct.
may not tell you that they had cosmetic surgery 5 times,
Correct.
acting like,
Correct.
they did
Or
X.
that they have been working with an aesthetic provider for 3 years.
Yeah.
And this is finally, the results of them dedicating or committing to the process of 3 years.
Yes. Yes. And
It's interesting. I also think too that when folks use makeup, when they apply makeup,
mhm.
and I have a friend who says, Michelle, don't say beat their face, don't say that. She doesn't like that,
I
but
got it. It's not my favorite, but I get it. So,
yeah.
uh-huh.
And so if you do that and you notice that, you know what, I got these lines, or
Mhm.
I notice now that I have more creases than I did before, and
Mhm.
you're still just trying to apply cover up or I don't know, concealer,
Mhm.
it very well may be time for you to have, a consultation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you're putting on loads and loads of concealer, it may be time for you to have a consultation.
Yeah.
Like, use some tox, and it tickles me when folks say, to your point, when you were talking about money, oh, that's so expensive. Oh, that's like, how much money do I need? Um, you budget yourself, just like you
Like
budget for your hair,
everything else that
you
you need.
budget for your lashes, you
That's right.
budget for the BBL, you budget for, I mean, like,
No
real
lies
talk.
detected.
No, I mean, because you want that, so you budget for it.
That's right. It's what you prioritize. It's what you
Yes,
prioritize. Yeah. No.
yes. And then at the end, because guess what? When you look good, I think that that's something that Deion Sanders is always talking about. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you bring in all your A game. Like,
Mhm.
I,
Yeah.
I think that, I think that at the end of the day, again, finding someone that you trust,
Yeah.
um coming up with a plan, and it's not I only went to them one time and I didn't like it, or it didn't look right. Well, did you go back to them and share with them what your concerns were?
Yeah. Mhm.
No one is a mind reader. And when you start talking about injecting a tox or a filler or doing a PRP or a PRF, I mean, even PRP, you can use PRP for your scalp, for your hair regeneration. You can,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. I mean, inject it into the scalp and some things to foster hair growth, hair regeneration. You
Hmm.
come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm always realistic with my clients.
Mhm.
I'm always realistic. I'm not trying to sell you nothing that I don't think that's going to look good for you, that's not going to be right for you. I'm just not going to do that.
Mhm. Mhm. And as you're talking, because it was something you said earlier, like, while yes, the channel has been created, geared towards Black and Brown women.
Hmm.
It sounds like there are men who may very well also be interested in
Hmm.
some of these various service offerings that don't
Yes.
think about it because it's
Hmm.
made to be this feminine,
Hmm.
girly thing.
Hmm. There are a
Um,
lot of men that talks.
okay,
Yeah, there are a lot of men that talks. Somebody
okay,
asked me that question yesterday. Yeah, there are men that talks. They don't want those run. They don't want those lines, or they want those lines to be smoother.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And again for the hair growth. And is it correct that do some people use Botox for under their arms for sweating?
Yes, for sweating. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
yes. Yeah, you can use it, and you can use Botox for under the arm. You can also use it on the neck. For folks who have lines on their necks and they want the neck to be a little
oh,
bit smoother. They call it
uh-huh.
what that the Nefertiti neck. Yeah,
Oh, Nefertiti.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, I didn't hear that one. All right, I like that. All right. Okay. So
Gosh.
you said, and we talked about the placement. And one last question, and then
Sure.
so for people, but primarily
Hmm.
we're talking to women.
Right.
I get a little bit of darkness, not an excessive amount, right? But when I
Hmm.
know when I'm like, oh girl, you need some sleep, because it's darker. But some
Hmm.
people truly have hereditary extreme darkness under
Pigmentation.
their eye.
Hyperpigmentation. Yeah.
What would that be, like a PRP or a PRF type thing that might help with that?
Yeah. It may help. Yeah. Yeah. But they may also need to have topical as well. But yeah, to be able to tackle it from the inside.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm. And just a couple other things. I do have we already talked about semaglutide. I also
Mhm.
have liquid lipo, which is the lipo dissolve injections into like specific areas to help with oh, okay.
So let me, hypothetically speaking, if you have, like fatty deposits in the belly area, might it help with that?
It very well may help with that, yes. You are hysterical.
Listen, we got some more eyeballs on here. It wasn't just me. And I ain't got to go under the knife.
Correct. Yeah. It's called PCDC is lipodissolve. You need like 3 sessions of it. It could be 3 or 4 sessions of it, and it's injection of the liquid lipo. They call it lipodissolve liquid lipo into the designated area. And it helps to dissolve the fat in fat pockets in those areas. Yes.
So then, like, do you typically work with people like, okay, but you need to have a fitness plan too to tighten that thing up? You know what I mean? Because it's still going to
Yes.
possibly lead. Yeah.
I tell folks that. I even tell folks, listen, it's not a weight management treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not injecting your entire belly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that
Mm-hmm.
because that's not what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to have a conversation about semaglutide.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk. Yeah.
Mm.
But if
For
you,
their weight loss.
yeah, semaglutide for the weight loss. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I got notes. I'm gonna be watching this again. So what I'm hearing is
Uh-uh.
while I'm, as I'm working through my 20 and 24, as my grandma would have said, budget, I gotta
Mhm.
put some stuff aside for CKE Rejuvenation.
I think so. And too, we offer a membership. We offer a monthly membership.
Okay.
$100 a month. You bank your money. You bank your $100 till you're ready to use it each month until you're ready to use it. You also can receive discounts on different services with your membership. Yes.
Okay. And then
Mhm.
do you offer payment plans or
I do. I offer cherry payment plans. You can also use
mhm,
credit cards or HSAH.
flex spending?
Yes. But you have to be careful with that because it's dependent upon what your plan is.
Okay. Okay.
Because if some of the plans will not approve Botox because it's
Gotcha.
cosmetic.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you did a drip, then they'll approve the drip, but they won't approve the tox. Yeah.
Right. And probably and possibly like the semaglutide, right? If you meet certain criteria.
Correct. Correct. Boom, boom. Yes. All of the
Okay.
gems.
Okay. Good information. So
Yes. So,
yeah,
I want your audience to know that black and brown women do Botox. They
mhm,
do. It's not about looking fake. It's not
mhm,
about looking frozen.
mhm,
You can continue to look like yourself,
mhm,
just with a little smoother skin,
mhm,
and not have those concerning lines or wrinkles that bother you.
mhm.
I have to say that because you know I don't think it's cool that people turn their nose up to other folks who say, you know what, I'm gonna get it or I've tried it. Because we don't do that to folks who wear wigs
Mhm.
or who wear
Or
weave,
even makeup, right?
or
Yeah.
makeup, or nails. Like I think that that's out of pocket, and I don't think that that's you know nice for all intents and purposes. If that's something that they want to do and they feel that
Right.
it helps them to look and feel their best, then support
Yes.
them in their decision. I mean, but you're not going to have them going around looking like, who shot John, but
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, black and if you do not have an esthetician, you should get yourself an esthetician. Get yourself a facial. Also invest in medical grade skincare products. Does it
Yeah.
mean that you have to go out and buy everything at this moment? No, that's not what it's saying.
Right.
Saying is, you know what? You start with a cleanser. And then after you get your cleanser, you get the moisturizer, and then after that,
And
you
you
get a
better get some
serum
sunscreen.
and SPF sunscreen.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, your skin is the largest organ. It represents you, who you are, and it represents you forever. Like, invest in it.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree that we need to invest in ourselves. And
Yeah.
I also agree, and thank you so much for sharing so much information, and all the
Yeah.
services that you offer because
Absolutely.
we need to know.
Mhm.
Again, for me, it's like that's what rich white ladies do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like so it's a bit of a mindset shift. Uh,
Mhm.
and it is also knowing that we are deserving of doing
Correct.
things
Correct.
that help prioritize our health
Correct.
and happiness to help
Correct.
us maintain our melanin and feel good
Yes.
about ourselves.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
totally
yes.
agree. And it's so interesting when, even talking about semaglutide, it's
Mm-hmm.
not just about losing the weight. Yes, losing the weight is great,
Mm-hmm.
but you can improve your heart, you can
Yeah,
improve your blood pressure,
yeah,
you can improve your overall well-being, your cholesterol levels, with losing weight. And some people need to have a kickstart to be able
right,
to help you. Does it mean that you're going to be on it forever? No.
right, right.
But it does mean that, you know what, now I can challenge myself to make some other lifestyle decisions that will
Yes,
be to the betterment of me, you
yes,
know, to look and feel my best. Like, when I think about when I hear people talk about semaglutide and Ozempic and, oh, that's a diabetic medication, and I'm like,
yeah. They're
do
different.
you know? You can clearly see or hear who doesn't have a medical background.
Yeah,
I say that because there are tons of medications that have that were intended for one
one
use
thing. Yep,
and is used for a whole lot of other things
that's
now.
right. Yep.
And so, you know, um, let folks make informed decisions.
Yeah.
Make informed decisions. Ask questions.
Yes.
Ask questions.
And
I'm,
go to trusted resources. Like that is
yes,
very important. Go to
yes,
trusted resources.
yeah. To get off of Google. Stop Googling everything. Ugh.
Right. Let's take it a step further, as
Yes,
my aunt would say,
yes,
further. Okay.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. This has been fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And hopefully we'll come back. I hope to get some more questions,
Okay,
but I definitely know I'm gonna be reaching out soon about a couple of things that we talked about tonight because I was curious.
sure,
Um,
sure,
let
sure.
everybody know where they can find you, how they can
Mhm,
connect with you
mhm,
on social media,
mhm.
and your website and all that good stuff.
Sure. So my website is www.ckerejuvenationrva.com. That's my website. I am on Facebook, CKE Rejuvenation. Um, I'm also on IG, CKE Rejuvenation RVA. You can email me at info@ckerejuvenationrva.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions, schedule any consultations. We can sit and chat, or you can call me and we can talk about what some of your concerns are.
Yes. Yes. So I hope the takeaway from tonight's conversation is that
Mhm.
one, we have to gain knowledge
Mhm.
about all the various things that are available to us
To us.
nowadays.
Mhm.
And I think it's important, especially for Black women, not
Mhm.
all, but a lot of
Mhm.
us, to
Mhm.
understand that in prioritizing ourselves, even
Mhm.
if it means Michelle has said she has a payment plan, she has a
Mhm.
membership. So there's
Yes.
a way where you might be like, you know what? I think that let me get in here and get this consultation
Right.
because this or this is a little bit bothersome to me. Like we can still love ourselves and still want to
Absolutely.
improve something, right?
Mhm.
So this is a little bit bothersome to me. Find out if you're a candidate for it.
Mhm.
Find out what it might cost you. Sign
Mhm.
up for that membership, or I mean, create your own membership. Start laying away that money. Y'all know what layaway is. Don't do that. Don't lay away that money in your bank account. Set it in that special account to say this is going to be in 6 months or 12 months for me to get dot 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 because it's going to help me feel better about me, and I
Absolutely.
am deserving.
Absolutely.
To prioritize me, how I feel, and the
Mhm.
level of confidence I have as I walk about this world
Mhm.
that is always trying to copy us, but act like we ain't fantabulous. Okay. So I hope that was the takeaway. And I hope that you all will connect with Michelle on social media with your questions or just to support, her
Mhm.
channel with the information that she shares.
Mhm.
And I think we'll be talking again because I really do want to do. We'll be talking again. Like
Okay.
we'll be talking again. Let me stop there. And I really do thank you for taking the time, and I thank y'all for popping on after our flex. Look, we had technical difficulties, and the we is me. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm the reason that we were late. I did something, and I didn't realize I was doing it. And so yes, thank you for your patience, Michelle.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So I am going to say it is my intention to be back next week with a live of some sort. And I haven't decided what it is yet, but we're a work in progress here. But I have missed being here. I love doing these interviews and meeting fantastic people like Michelle, who is willing to take the time to share useful information for us. And I'm going to say good night. And thanks again to Michelle. And I hope to see you all next week and that you have a good night. Bye, y'all.